All right, guys, how are you? Welcome into another live stream for the Daily Juice, Betting Pros, bettingpros.com. My name is Matt Perrault. How are you? For the next 1 hour, we are with you here breaking down Week 7 of the NFL. All right, so what I always tell you guys is in the comment section, I've got my little phone here. I'm watching you guys putting up different questions and comments about what we're going to do here in week number 7 of the NFL. So ask me questions. We're going to get to those questions for sure during this 1 hour. Also, I've got player props that I'm going to go through and talk about. Have you guys checked out, right here at the top, we've got something very new with bettingpros.com. We are taking consensus lines, we are taking player projections, we're putting them together, and we're giving you the best bet for a prop. Now, this is a new feature, okay? So some of the data, we got to work out a couple of the kinks. I found a couple of discrepancies where the projected line or the line that they're saying is actually lower or higher than what we've got on the website. So you got to always double check the sports books. The lines change very quickly. So we're going to adapt and we're going to get this really rocking. But if you go to bettingpros.com, go under NFL, look under picks, and you can pull it down, and there's a best player prop selection, all right? You go ahead and click on that, and you're going to get a list of props. I have played 4 of them because, well, one, they're the ones I like. But 2, I don't have access to FanDuel and DraftKings unless I pick up the phone and I call my family on the East Coast. So I will play William Hill and I'll play BetMGM because I have those access. I can access those here in Las Vegas. So it's easier for me to do that, to play those props and bet those props here. So I'm a little bit partial. If it says FanDuel or DraftKings, I can't really play it. So if you want to know, well, Matt, why are you taking those 4 and not taking the number 1 one? Well, that's because the number 1 option is Sam Darnold passing under yardage today against the Bills, and that's a FanDuel prop that they've got the number. So no access, don't have access to it, but you guys should go and check it out. There are 50 different prop bets that are up, that there's a discrepancy that from the player projection versus where the line is that we're showing you with bettingpros.com. To me, it takes the guesswork out of it. I'm going to monitor this. We're going to get this sharpened, okay? So it just realize that it's new, okay? So I wouldn't do it blindly. But for now, take a look at it. If your research and what you see match up with what we're putting out there with bettingpros.com on this new player prop projection, heck, I mean, this is going to be great, right? I mean, it's a great tool. It's a really cool thing you guys have access to right now off bettingpros.com. So check that out. We'll go through a couple of them. We'll break down some games here. We'll break down some of your questions, player props, and projections and whatnot. So you will see on that side, right, all of the Daily Juice plays for today. We're on an 11-4-1 run on the Daily Juice. So if you're a live stream viewer and not a listener to the Daily Juice, come on, what are you doing? Come on, listen. Every morning we drop it 15 minutes. Sometimes it's more. It's never been less, I don't think. Not more than like 14 and a half minutes, but it's pretty much 15 minutes every day. And we have a lot of fun. And the Discord channel is the best way to interact with your fellow Daily Juicers. Now, what is Discord? This is something I didn't know about 3 days ago or 4 days ago, whatever it was. And so this is a new, if you've ever been on Slack, it's kind of like Slack, but it's a public version of Slack. So you can download the Discord app, or you can go to bettingpros.com/chat, and there's a direct link right there to jump into the Discord. That's the Betting Pros channel on Discord is where I live basically now. And I will from time to time put up prop bets and bets that I like that I have not put on the podcast or that I have not tweeted out. So I'm going to be partial to that because that's the Daily Juice, right? So I have a radio show, and so I've got like different people listening and watching and whatnot. So when I'm going just to you guys, the Daily Juicers, that's where the post, I'm going to pop it right onto the Discord channel for Daily Juice. And yesterday I gave you an even money parlay prop that hit with Habib Nurmagomedov and Lauren Murphy, both on the money line. That wound up being even money, so 1 unit to win 1 unit, and it hit. So that was fun. We had the under in that fight. I should have bet more than I did. That's where, I do like flat wagering, because it saves you from the craziness, right? Flat wagering saves you from having, a really bad day or having your bankroll destroyed. But on those types of fights, it's almost like, man, that under was a lock. Like, there was no chance that fight was even going to the 4th round yesterday. But what can you do? All right, so we did this last week. I want to do it again. I want to go through these bets here to tell you, or the games here, to tell you where the money is. And FanDuel does this, so I'm not recommending FanDuel, but most books in America, it's rare that they're off by a percentage or two. If one book is heavy on one side, all the other books are going to be heavy on another side. It's pretty much consistently going to happen, and it's just kind of, that's where we are, okay? So let's start with the Bills and the Jets. The number right now is Buffalo -10 on the road at New York. The spread is 92% of the bets and 89% of the money coming in here on the Buffalo Bills. I can't hate that. As you guys know, it's part of our teaser. I'm choosing to tease it down just in case you get backdoored. It's possible that the Jets put up a fight today. I don't think so, but I guess Sam Darnold's coming back. I guess you could talk about potentially the Jets, losing by 7 or 8, or maybe they're just going to get destroyed. This is the game that every bookmaker in America, they're looking for the Jets. If you want to go super contrarian today, if you want to fade the world today, fade the Bills. Okay? Fade the Bills. I can't see them losing this game. As long as Adam Gase is the coach, I can't see the Jets winning a game with Adam Gase as the coach, let alone having fight. But 92% of the bets at FanDuel coming in here on the Bills -10. Carolina on the road at New Orleans. This is one of our games, right? I got it at 7.5. I don't hate it at 6.5. Carolina on the road. No Emmanuel Sanders. No Michael Thomas. And a whole lot of questions about what's going on in New Orleans right now. I don't know what to make of that. Oh, by the way, for the total, 50 for the Bills and Jets, 45.5 is the total. 55% of the bets are on the under for that, thinking the Jets aren't going to score. The total is 50.5 for Panthers Saints. You have 76% of the bets and 73% of the money on Carolina. So unfortunately, that's a really public play, but not only did we bet it at plus 7.5, we teased it up to 13, 12.5, or 13, depending on what number you got for Carolina at New Orleans. This is one of the games I've circled, and I just think it's a tight game. I just think it's a 4-point game one way or the other. And, if you want to play money line, 58% of the bets and 56% of the money is on the Panthers to win at New Orleans. I'm not ready to go that far, but I think it's going to be a tighter game than people think. 71% of the bets and 74% of the money coming in here on the over for the Panthers and the Saints. All right, Browns and the Bengals. You guys know I like Cleveland. I got 3. This number is ping-ponged around. It was 4, then 3, now 3.5. I would prefer the 3, so maybe you buy it down if you get the 3, but that's what I played. Cleveland -3 on the road at the Bengals. 78% of the bets and 82% of the money coming in here on the Browns. If you want a total, 73% of the bets and 81% of the money coming in on the over 50.5 for Cincinnati and Cleveland. Points are expected there. I get it. I mean, again, if you want to go contrarian here, go Bengals to win the game. But I don't see it given what happened last week for the Cleveland Browns. It's a bounce-back spot. I'm looking for teams to bounce back if they can. Okay, Dallas at Washington. Cowboys now -1. This number's been all over the place. Washington +1, Dallas +1. It's been a pick 'em for a while. 80% of the bets and 77% of the money coming in here on Dallas -1. The 44.5, people like the over here. 69% of the bets and 68% of the money coming in for the over 44.5 at FanDuel. I mean, my goodness, I don't know. That's a tough game. 44.5 is a really low total there, but that's not, points are not expected in that one. Detroit at Atlanta. What a disgusting game this is. Atlanta's getting 55% of the bets and 58% of the money on that -1.5 for the Falcons. The total is 55. 85% of the bets coming in here on the over. Who plays defense in that game? Packers are down to -3. This is a game where, my gosh, Dan Harris and I went back and forth on this game like crazy for our play in the DraftKings Pro Football Pick'em contest. -3, the Houston Texans, the total is 57. Okay, guys, you ready for this? 95% of the bets and 93% of the money is on Green Bay -3. Goodness gracious. You know what I think about that, right? I mean, man alive. It's almost, this is going to be, by the way, I mean, how could you not tease this? How could you not tease the Texans? Now, it does not fit a Wong teaser for those Daily Juice people who are looking at Wong teasers here before kickoff. Total is 57. So this does not fit into your Wong teaser scenario. But, man, that's so tempting. 57, 61% of the bets and 70% of the money coming in on the over. 57 Packers-Texans. Game of the day, Steelers-Titans. -1.5 for the Titans. Total is 50.5. Everyone's on Pittsburgh. 77% of the bets and the money on the Steelers. Go Titans. Total, 74% of the money, 72% of the bets are coming in here on the total over 50.5 points. I would fade that as well. Lower scoring game. I think the Titans win. I told you I wanted to get to even and then tease the Titans up. I'm not going to get there, so I'm not going to touch it. That's a game. I'm just going to enjoy that game. I may live bet that game, but Steelers-Titans, I'm just going to have some fun with that game and watch it. I probably will live bet it. But Bucks and the Raiders, welcome to the game that I want to bet against the world. Everyone's on the Bucks -4. The whole offensive line problems, no Trent Brown, no Jonathan Abram. I'm passing on this game. I'm just going to watch this game, but 82% of the bets, 80% of the money coming in here on the Buccaneers. The over's got 74% of the money and 71% of the bets over 51.5. I mean, I think we took it in the DraftKings and the Circa, 3.5 and 4. It's just one of those games where I'm very concerned about the Raiders, circling the wagons and playing really hard. Again, if it wasn't for the Brown and the Abrams injury, I would be on the Raiders. But those are two pretty significant injuries here with Mike Evans and them having a big game. Jags at the Chargers, 7.5 favorite. Los Angeles, 49's the total. So 49's the total. Home favorite, 7.5. This game would factor into a Wong teaser situation, okay? If you're looking for games as to what would factor in, home favorite, 7, 8, 9. Tease that down. 49 points. Tease it down. So Jacksonville and Los Angeles does factor in, does qualify if you're looking for Wong teaser games. This game does qualify. Kansas City, 68% of the bets, 64% of the money coming in here on the Chargers, 50-50 on the total of 49 over-under. Chiefs -7.5 against the Broncos, totals 44, 79% of the bets and 84% of the money coming in here on KC, -7.5. Hello, Wong teaser. Here's another one, okay? So it's a little bit different because the Broncos are catching 7.5, but you tease the Broncos up. You could do a Wong teaser right now of teasing the Chargers down from 7.5 down to 1.5, okay? Chargers -1.5, and then take the Broncos at 7.5 and teasing them up at 7.5 up to 13.5, okay? Those two games would qualify and factor in here if you're looking for home dogs, home favorites. You could go ahead and do that and move those numbers around. That game, that would qualify for a Wong teaser, hypothetically. So if you're looking, we talked about this on the live stream. If that's what you're interested for, there you go. So you can do that. Niners at the Patriots, Pats -3, 56% of the bets and 54% of the money on the Patriots. And the over, 67% of the bets and 76% of the bets on the over 45 for the Pats and the 49ers. And finally, tonight on Sunday Night Football, Seahawks -3.5. This is one of my plays at the Cardinals. Total 54, 71% of the bets and 69% of the money on the Seahawks and 66% of the bets and 84% of the money. 84% of the money coming in here on the over 54 points for today. Bears and Rams is Monday. We'll get into tomorrow coming up on the podcast on the Daily Juice coming up tomorrow for Monday Night Football. Okay, so let's get to some of your questions and some of the things we're going to break down here. Okay. Alex says, Matt, you're a madman. I can't believe you actually dragged me awake before kickoff. Welcome. This is the fun, man. This is what we do. This is how we get into this stuff, right? And it's a lot of fun. Someone saying I'm wearing a 49ers hat, so it's right. So you have to understand something, that I grab hats all the time, and they don't really matter to me. I'm a Patriot fan, so I just grabbed this hat because it was red. I was looking for a red hat today. That's what you got blue background, you got black shirt. I was looking for the color coordination. I don't really care about. I've got literally like 50 hats in my closet, so I just grabbed one. And the 49ers just happened to be. I thought about that too as we were starting. I'm like, wait, the Patriots are playing the 49ers. Whatever. Who cares? All right, let's get to some of your questions here before we get to the prop bets that I like here today. Okay. I need some distractions after the Dodgers game last night. Well, I mean, even if you're a Dodger fan, come on, you have to at least appreciate what happened last night. And then bet the over like we all doing, because we're 4-0 on the over. 4-0. I mean, how much fun is that? It's like, you just don't worry about it. You just cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. 4-0, it's cashing every time. Will it cash every game? I don't know, but we're going to keep on betting it until the algorithm changes and they stop giving us 8 and they go to 8.5. But they haven't. They keep on giving us 8 or 7.5. And it's over in baseball. It's really fun. Brian says, go to the link for sure. It gave me a couple of ideas for props. That's a real good point, okay? Again, so if you haven't, just joining us, if you go to BettingPros.com, go to NFL, under picks, you're going to see best prop bets. Click on that. It's going to take you to basically like a graphic, and you're going to see all different prop bets from the line, the projection, the difference, the pick you can make, and then where to place the bet as well. Now, again, the scraping data, things change, numbers change, it all kind of factors in, but it will give you ideas, 50 different prop bets where the Betting Pros computer is spitting out, wait a minute, this line, the projection is much different than what the books are putting up. Now, we all have algorithms, we all have our numbers, but the Fantasy Pros guys are pretty good, okay? So you're taking daily fantasy projections and yardage projections from the DFS world and applying it to a sports gambling bet. It's the best of both worlds, right? Let's use the power, let's use the muscle, if you will, to help us win some prop bets. So it just gives you an idea as to what they're looking at. Like, for example, Patrick Mahomes right now is being projected that the line is 267.5 yards. His projection is 287.6 yards. That's a difference of 22.1 yardage, right? Right now at FanDuel, you can go and bet that. The number is 265.5. The projection's 287.5. That's 22 yards. Go bet the over Patrick Mahomes passing yards today at FanDuel. That's the point, okay? So let's play that out for a second. So why would that happen? Matt, it's going to be 1 degrees wind chill, 18 degrees at kickoff, with 3 to 6 inches of snow during the game. Why would the over be in play for that game? Here is the little secret that the public loves to forget about. The only thing that matters, put this in your brain, the only thing that matters when it comes to totals is wind. That's it. Not cold, not rain, not snow. No. Okay? The only thing that matters is wind. So the wind gusts are at 9 degrees. That is nothing. Okay? So Patrick Mahomes in that offense, they're going to eat. Okay? They're going to eat. And they're going to put points up. And I think Denver keeps the game closer than people think. I think Denver will run the ball really well today. It's easier for running in the snow because you know where you're going and the defense doesn't. So the slipping and the sliding happens a lot on defense and less on offense. But in terms of projections and in terms of numbers and points, I would wait, and then I'd play the over. Because I think people are going to bet the under, and they're going to think, oh, under day. Oh, okay, It doesn't matter. Wind matters. Wind. Not rain, not snow, not cold, not heat. Wind. That's what impacts the ability to score and throw in the NFL. That's the only one. Okay, let's see. Burrow is dicing up your secondary. I mean, it could. I mean, I'm not going to hate on that. The Browns may give up big points today. That's very possible, but the Browns are going to blitz Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow has not shown, as of yet, the ability to handle a great defensive line who gets in his face. Most quarterbacks don't. So the Browns have a really good defensive line, and the Browns are going to blitz the holy heck out of Burrow. And I mean, I think there's some issues there. I wish if you're a Bengals fan, you wish AJ Green and him are on the same page, but they clearly aren't. So Cleveland needs a bounce back spot. I mean, this is a bad, good team, like I talked about in the Daily Juice. The Browns are a bad, good team, meaning against the Steelers, against the Ravens, against the Chiefs, against the Titans, I wouldn't go near the Browns. But against bad teams like the Bengals, yeah, they'll do work. They'll put some numbers up. Browns win today. Let's see. Chiefs have gone to 7 at William Hill. Okay, I don't mind that. Yeah, I mean it's a better number than 7.5. That's for sure. So money's coming down in Denver, driving that. If you get below 7, go all over the Chiefs. By the way, if you get to that 6.5, I would go all over the Chiefs. I'm worried about the Packers game if Aaron Jones is out or hurt. Do me a favor, if you guys hear anything about Aaron Jones while we're on here, tell me, because I'm interested, because I think it does matter a lot. Green Bay, I mean, this was a huge argument for me all week with Dan Harris and my other partner in the Circa and for my betting. We took it, okay? I kind of held my nose and took it, and I think everybody's just assuming Green Bay is going to have a bounce-back performance after their pathetic game against the Bucs. I'm just a little nervous about that. I mean, at home in October, historically, Deshaun Watson's been really good. And I know they've got receiver issues with Cooks and Fuller and running the ball issues. I know all of that. I just don't. I agree to it, so I'm on the Packers. Jones being out, you got Williams and you've got A.J. Dillon. I mean, you might go on the A.J. Dillon or the Williams props if you want running backs, because look what happened last week to the Texans with their inability to stop the run, although Derrick Henry is a very unique individual, right? He's Derrick Henry. Let's see. So should I include the Packers in one of my parlays? Really? You know how I feel about parlays, guys. Don't ask me that. How is Denver a Wong play? I thought home dogs had to be 1.5 or 2. Yeah, no. It's key numbers, okay? Key numbers. The most important thing when it comes to a Wong teaser is the total, which is 49 or lower. That's the most important thing, okay? And so if you're at 7.5, you're going over 10, and you're nearly going all the way up to 14, okay? With a total of 49. So think about it. If they're projecting a lower scoring game with 49 or less being the total, lower scoring score. If you're giving either side 14 points, that is significant, okay? So that does, yes, factor into being a Wong teaser. It's about key numbers, all right? 3, 7, 10, 14. Key numbers. That's what you're trying to get through when it comes to teasers and Wong teasers. Really, it's the 49 points, okay? I know this stuff's a little complicated. It's new to you guys. I understand that. Maybe you guys are brand new to teasing or brand new to sports gambling in general. But don't freak out. Like, don't have this, like, oh, my God moment. Like, again, Wong teasers have a lot to do with the total that you're moving around, because it's being projected as a lower scoring game and you're going over key numbers. So if it's 1.5, home dog, 1.5. I'm knocking things over. 1.5 home dog. You tease over 7. You're trying to get over 7. So if I'm getting over 10 and I'm getting over 13 in a total of 49 or less, right? That makes sense, right? So lower points, and you're giving a higher percentage of those points to the dog, who happens to be at home. That works. How do you assess the weather for Kent? Brian just did that. Kareem Hunt, 18.5 receiving yards at -110. Like that. Yes, like that a lot. Short dink and dunks. That's one thing in the weather. You don't normally throw the ball deep in the snow. You still throw the ball, but maybe not the long 40-yard bomb. You dink and dunk more in the snow. So Kareem Hunt, yep, I would agree with that for sure. Mahomes killed the Broncos last year in a snowstorm. Yep, that's absolutely true. Drew Lock is terrible in the snow. I mean, he played in Missouri. I don't know. It's hard to. I think Drew Lock is terrible, period. Okay? So, like, in the snow, in the rain, I don't think it really matters. I think Drew Lock is, period, bad. So, I don't care where that game's being played. Let's see. Zeke's at 82 at -1.5 for yards rushing. I mean, I think there's something to be said for that. I think there's given what happened last week with Andy Dalton and the fact that he did not throw the ball well at all against the Cardinals. But Zeke fumbled so much last week. So I just wonder, I mean, how much does the new coaching staff, do they feel like Zeke is a fumbling problem right now and they're not going to push him as hard as they normally would? I'm not saying that to be fact. I'm just like speculating as to why that prop may or may not hit. Do I think they're going to run the ball a lot? Yeah, I think that they should run the ball a lot. But, I mean, the Cowboys' offense was a disaster last week, so it's a little scary to go on any Cowboy prop, to be quite honest. Let's see. Amari Cooper, long reception over 22.5 yards. Not bad. I don't hate that. You do realize Kareem Hunt has only hit over 18.5 yard receiving yard once and just barely with 21 yards. I don't like that here. Okay. I mean, Chris, I'm not, you can don't bet it. I didn't bet it. I'm just making a case for it. And I think in the snow, I think there is a case for dink and dunk. I think there's a case for screens. I think there's a case for outlet passes. I think there's a case for this team to throw the ball quite a bit, but not throw the ball a ton. And remember, game by game, what happened last week can have nothing to do with this week, okay? So just remember, just because it happened last week or didn't happen last week has no real bearing on this week. It's about projecting what's going to happen, not using last week to say, oh, it happened last week, so it's going to happen this week. That's not what sports betting is, guys, okay? We're about the future. The past is gone. I can't bet on a game that happened yesterday or a game that happened last week. I'm talking about now. What's going to happen in 3 hours from now? Not what happened before. So just remember that before you say, there's no way. Game plan it. Aaron Rodgers interception over half a yards for plus 185. He had 2 pick sixes last week. Again, Thomas, that's what I'm talking about. Just because Aaron Rodgers threw 2 pick sixes last week, you want to go back and say Aaron Rodgers throws a pick this week? Against that team? That defense? I would say no. I don't think Rodgers gets picked off today by the Texans. Let's see. Henry at 84.5 rushing yards over minus 120. Okay, so here is the issue that I would say about Derrick Henry in the running game. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, what is the one thing you're going to do today? You were going to do everything in your power to stop the running game, right? You're not going to have what happened last week happen to you. You're not going to allow that guy to run wild. So you're going to put the game on Ryan Tannehill's shoulders. This is why I would bet the Titans. I didn't bet the Titans, but it's why I would bet the Titans, and I may live bet the Titans. So Ryan Tannehill is extremely accurate. I was talking to a friend of mine from Pro Football Focus on my radio show, and Ryan Tannehill between 10 and 20 yards passing is one of the best in the NFL. Devin Bush is out. That's one of the best cover linebackers, and he is their captain, the quarterback, if you will, of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. This is the first time they're going to be playing without Devin Bush. It's a monster injury. It's a bigger injury than people really are thinking, and I know you still have Dupree, and you still have Watt, and you got guys who can get after the quarterback. I understand that. But Ryan Tannehill has to win this game. And I think as long as A.J. Brown plays, which I think he's going to, you've got an opportunity for this Titans team, just over 10 yards, to have a lot of success throwing the football on this team, on the Steelers defense. One of the things, I'm a Patriot fan, remember, okay? One of the things the Patriots always did to that secondary for the Steelers, they play a lot of zone, okay? And they go right over that 10 yards. They turn around, Gronk and Edelman, ding, 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 all day long. That's how Brady destroyed the Steelers in his career. Go look at Tom Brady's stats against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not saying Ryan Tannehill is Tom Brady, but the head coach knows him, okay? The head coach of the Titans knows him real well. So I like Tennessee today. I know I'm standing on an island and I'm alone in a lot of this. Everyone in the world, they're all over the Steelers. I like the Titans. Now, I do have a bet on the Titans to win more than 9.5 games. That's my alternative win total prop for them. So you might go, well, Matt, you're sitting on an alternative win total ticket. Of course you're looking for the Titans. I am, but I'm just a really big supporter of the Titans. I just really like that team a lot. And not that I don't like the Steelers, but I think this is a game where 3 points or less, I mean, the line is below 3 points or more for a Titans victory. I'm on Tennessee today to win that game. Aaron Jones officially inactive. Woo, boy. Okay. So that opens up everyone else for that running attack for the Green Bay Packers, which, again, it goes right back to my point. Like, okay, so I'm not saying you're going to have to bank on Aaron Rodgers. Oh, no. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but whoa, okay. Interesting. Okay, so thank you for that. I appreciate that. Chris says he loves Tennessee. Jordan says he loves Tennessee. Okay, good. So I guess I'm not alone on that. Here we go with prop bets. These are from our prop bet machine, if you will. We need to find some type of name for it. I don't know what to call it exactly, but hopefully you guys can kind of see that here. Let's see if I can get this put close. Okay, so 0.25 units. Here are 4 bets that are off of our BettingPros.com projection. Top 3 are from BetMGM. The bottom one is from William Hill. All of them are minus 115. Let's start with the top with DeAndre Hopkins going up against the interesting defense for the Seahawks. We have seen teams put up big numbers. Cam Newton, who has not thrown the ball very well, put up big numbers against Seattle. Points are expected here in this game. The Seattle defense is not good, okay? This offense for the Cardinals is a little bit concerning. It's really concerning. This is the 4th best bet according to the Betting Pros NFL props projection. A lot of P's there. But it's the 4th best bet. So they are projecting a 98.2 yards performance for DeAndre Hopkins. At BetMGM, the number is 75.5. Right now, you can go bet it right now. 75.5 at BetMGM. I'm going over that. That's a discrepancy of 22.7 yards for DeAndre Hopkins. Points are expected, and I think they're going to force feed the football to DeAndre Hopkins because this offense has not thrown the ball well at all. If you take away the 2 long passes for Kyler Murray last week against the Cowboys, they didn't do very much, all right? They didn't do very much. And the thing about Hopkins is he can take one pass and go to the house and get your prop in one completion. So over 75.5 yards receiving for DeAndre Hopkins at minus 115. That's our first player prop here for today on the live stream. Second, this is again going right off of where we are here with Betting Pros on our bettingpros.com, go under picks and then best prop bets. Mike Williams. Mike Williams is the 7th best option according to the bettingpros.com projections. Mike Williams, he's being projected 62.2 yards receiving from the Betting Pros calculators. However, his receiving total is 40.5 for yardage. Mike Williams up against Jacksonville, 40.5 yards receiving is the number. You're getting 21.7 yards of value there. And you can go bet it at at minus 115 for Mike Williams up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Herbert's got a big game today. I mean, this would be a game I would tease down at 7.5. I would tease down the Chargers against Jacksonville. I have seen some sharp people liking Jacksonville. So that's kind of one reason why I've been a little bit concerned about that. But I don't know. That's a tough team with a really bad. I mean, both sides of the football have been bad for Jacksonville, and I think the Chargers are better than people think. I mean, I know they've been banged up and really hurt, but I like Herbert a lot. If they ever get healthy, if they ever can stay healthy, they'll be a good team. I'm not a huge Anthony Lynn guy because he's so conservative, but if only going to win the game, 7.5 down to 1.5, I don't mind involving the Chargers with a teaser there to get down. So then that's number 2. Number 3 here for the prop bets, it is Mike Evans over 51.5 yards receiving at minus 115. That is the 8th best according to BetMGM, according to our betting props calculator. Receiving yards, he is being projected by Betting Pros to have 73.2 yards receiving today up against a defense that, without Jonathan Abrams and without their starting left cornerback, they got some big injuries in that secondary for the Raiders. So it's tough. Arnett's out. Abrams out. I think over 51.5 is a pretty good number there. Mike Evans for the Tampa Bay Bucks, 73.2 yards projected. The number is 51.5 at BetMGM. That is a 21.7 yards of value there on Mike Evans. And then finally, we go to the number 2 projected, and this scares me, so that's why I have it at number 4, but it's the number 2 ranked prop on Betting Pros right now for our prop projection. Kyle Allen, under 255.5 yards passing at minus 115. Now, you might go, Matt, why don't you like that? Because it's number 2. Why wouldn't you like that? Because here's why. Because the number's off, okay? The number is off where And this is, like I told you, we're going to have some discrepancies. We're going to have some quirks and bugs to work out. This is a brand new piece of technology that we have rolled out this week off BettingPros.com. They're claiming the line at William Hill is 264.5. That's not what it is. It's 255.5. Okay, so there's 10 yards of discrepancy there with our number on the website to what the book has right now. So that was a little concerning to me. But the projection's still the same. The projection is 237.7 yards of passing for Kyle Allen today for the Washington football team versus the Dallas Cowboys. So the difference is 31.8 yards on the website, but in reality, the difference is 21.8 yards. Okay, there's a 10-yard difference here. So that's why it's my fourth most popular. It's on 4 on the board and not 1, where it's number 2 on the website. It's not as good because of the number being adjusted. Now, when did that number get adjusted? I don't know. Okay, it could have happened right before we came on the air here for the live stream, but that's very possible. So just be aware of that there could be some discrepancies as we figure this out, as we get this worked out here for this very cool new piece of technology for prop bets. There may be discrepancies. So DeAndre Hopkins, over 75.5 yards receiving today at minus 115. These are all at 0.25 units. Mike Williams, over 40.5 yards receiving today at minus 115. Mike Evans, over 51.5 yards receiving today at minus 115. Those 3 are at BetMGM. And then Kyle Allen, under 255.5 yards passing against the Cowboys at minus 115 at William Hill. So definitely check this out. Sam Darnold, if you're curious, the number 1 prop on the board for this projections is Sam Darnold under passing total today. Our projections put it at 178.4 yards passing for Sam Darnold against the Bills. The line is 220.5. That's 42.1 difference for yards of value there. Darnold coming back after the shoulder injury against Buffalo. FanDuel's got it at 20.5.5. That's the number 1 bet on the board. Number 2 is Kyle Allen against Dallas. We just went over it. Number 3 is Drew Brees versus Carolina. Passing yardage projected at 259.2. His prop is 282.5. That is 23.3 yards of value to place on the under Drew Brees passing today for the New Orleans Saints. And that's often one of those like, what do you mean? You can't go under with Drew Brees. Have you watched the offense? They haven't, no Michael Thomas, no no Emmanuel Sanders. Maybe they're going to run the ball a lot today. So that's the projection. That's number 3. I told you about DeAndre Hopkins. That's one of my plays. That's number 4. I told you about Patrick Mahomes. That's number 5. So those are the top 5 projections here that are on there, which is pretty interesting to see what's going to happen. So, all right, a couple things. What's the point? What point is the juice too much? I see D Hopkins at minus 175. For what? I must be missing that here on what you're asking for DeAndre Hopkins, because it's minus 115 on the receiving total for him. That's not minus 175. If your book is at minus 175 for that prop, that's ridiculous. Like Mike Williams over, is DeAndre Hopkins playing? As far as I know, DeAndre Hopkins is playing. I know he was a little bit nicked up, but let me double check on that to see if we can see about inactives and who's in and out here. Hold on, that's the wrong one. Sorry to do this live on the air, but that's important because I've made that bet, so that would be kind of a bummer. Let's see. For the Texans, he's questionable. Okay. Yeah, but see, he's going to play. I mean, late week practice, I'll be limited in nature, does point to Hopkins being able to play Sunday night. I'd be really surprised if, I mean, it's a late game, so technically we're a couple of hours away before they have to declare DeAndre Hopkins in or out. But, I mean, as far as I know, DeAndre Hopkins is going to play. I mean, I bet he's going to play. I think he's playing. I mean, Sunday Night Football, I think he plays. So, good question, but he's questionable, but I do think he's going to play tonight. A.J. Dillon plus 150 to score a touchdown on DraftKings. I actually was going back and forth with Dan Harris about this last night, and I agree. Okay, I do. I do think A.J. Dillon's a thumper. I've been a big fan of him ever since Boston College. He's a big back. He can get to the goal line. Yeah, I do like that. I do like A.J. Dillon, goal line situation to score a touchdown plus 150. I do like that at DraftKings. If you can find that at your local book as well, I do like the A.J. Dillon prop for him to score a touchdown. I do like that. Let's see. Chiefs Broncos down to 6.5. Okay, I mean, this is what we're talking about. The public's going to come in here, and they're just going to assume that, Denver's live. I'm telling you right now, bet the Chiefs. Okay? I bet the Chiefs. It doesn't matter. This weather, everyone's freaking out. Public money's coming in. I'm not buying it for 1 second. I may get off the air and bet that myself. It won't be an official play unless, well, maybe I will make it an official play. I don't know. That could be a Discord play, depending on where it is when we get off the air here, but I very well might be on the Chiefs. Under a touchdown, Chiefs on the road at Denver, I mean, that might be stealing here in a lot of ways. 49ers cap, turn to the dark side's complete. No, I told you, it just looks, it's about color coordination. All right, color coordination. That's all that is. It's wearing a black shirt, blue background when you need a red hat. So it's got nothing to do with it. Oh wow, so BetMGM has moved that prop for DeAndre Hopkins, huh? So that number is what? Now it's minus 173 to the over at BetMGM. Wow. Okay. So we came in and we must have done some good work, guys. I'm not saying we moved the line from the Daily Juice, but my goodness gracious, I guess that's okay. I mean, if that's true, if that's what happened. Let me see if that's true. Hold on. Let me open up my BetMGM app and see if that actually happened, because that would be something if it moved that much. Because it like literally an hour ago it was minus 115 here. Let me see. We're going Sunday night. Where's that game prop? Let's see. Game prop. And by the way, the BetMGM app has been very funky because they're starting to play around with it and changing things around. No. I mean, it's 77.5. So it's gone up 2 yards, but it's still minus 115. So it's gone up. But the juice, I don't know what you guys are looking at. DeAndre Hopkins receiving yards is now over 77.5 yards at minus 115. Remember, the projection here is 98.2. So I bet it at 75.5. It's now up to 75.5. So it's up 2 yards. Same juice though, minus 115. So I don't know if you guys are seeing something that's not there or what, but that's not there. Just FYI, that's not it. Okay, so couple things here. If you're looking at the public for the DraftKings contest, Dan Harris has just sent me a text. He has not sent me his player props though, but he sent me the plays. So 56% of the plays are on the Bucs. That's the number one play in the DraftKings contest. It's going to be the number one pick in every contest there is. Everyone's going to fade this. Everyone's going to be on, are going to be on the Bucs. I'm just not really in love with that. At minus 2.5, though, I mean, the number is in the DraftKings contest. It's much lower than the number you're going to get right now. It's below a field goal, so there's a numbers play as well. Panthers plus 7.5 at 44%. I'm on that. That's annoying. Jets are plus 13.5 in the DraftKings Pro Football Pick'em contest. 29% are on that. And the Broncos at plus 9.5. Broncos at plus 10.5 in the Circa play and 9.5 at the DraftKings. 27% are on that. A lot of people are going to take the Broncos plus the 9.5 points. As you're seeing, the number is cratering at the moment. Number is down. Let's see where the number is here in Vegas right now for the NFL. Let me reset that here. I got to log back into my app to see where the number is for Vegas. This is at Circa. The number right now it's 7.5 still here. So if you guys get 6.5, it's even money. It's minus 7.5 even money. So if you don't know what that means, it means the book does not want to move off of 7.5. Okay, what that's telling you when that happens, it says that the book is concerned about getting absolutely hammered by the professionals. So when it's 7.5 even money or 7 even money or 3 even money, they don't want to go up or down. So if they move it where they're supposed to be moving it, if they're saying, okay, all the money's coming in on the -3, they don't want to go to 3.5, because if they go to 3.5, then here comes the money on the other side, and they don't want that to happen. So always look to see where the juice is. They would prefer to move the juice than move the number. If they like the number, if they think the number's right, even money will come up because they like that number. So what the books are saying is they like 7.5. Under 7, they like it. So if you can find right now, if you can find the Chiefs at 6.5, yep, go ahead. I'm not going to bet it unless I get to 6.5, but I don't hate the fact that if you want to tease it up, I mean, that's not a horrible teaser either to go take put the Broncos and tease them up. You got to find the other side, but I don't hate that. So I'll probably be on that teaser the Broncos up. I just need to go find another side, but I'm going to put up on the Discord channel, I'm going to put up a teaser. Now, it may be a Wong teaser, it might not. It may just be a me teaser, a Perrault teaser, but I'm going to put another teaser up, and it will probably include that Broncos game, just because I think people are, I mean, and I'm going to go the other way, okay? I'm teasing the Chiefs down because I think if you can get to 6.5 and tease down to a 0.5 point, and all the Chiefs have to do is win, I think, taking the Chiefs and putting them down is something. And I might even do it where I take a same game teaser. If your book lets you, it sets up as kind of a same game teaser where you take the Chiefs, tease them down, take the total and tease it down, and take the over. So Chiefs down and over, that might actually work. That actually might be a really smart way of playing that game. I think points are getting scored in that game. Public's going to be all nervous. They're going to be shaking. They're going to be like, "Oh no, here we go. This is so dangerous." The snow and they don't. It doesn't matter. Wind matters. Snow, cold, doesn't matter. Rain doesn't matter. Wind matters. There's not a lot of wind being projected in Denver right now. It's all about the snow. And everyone's playing these clips about Patrick Mahomes saying, "Oh, the football is sticky," and blah, blah, blah. I don't care about any of that, okay? It doesn't matter to me. But it matters about the overall performance of the team, not just Mahomes, but everybody. And yes, Mahomes played very well in the snow last year in Denver. So not that crazy. Matt, Chiefs game, which way is the money going? Well, the number is being driven down. So since the number's being driven down, money's coming in here on the Broncos because of the weather. And everyone's freaking out. The public's freaking out. Snow, snow, snow. So they're betting on they're going to lose. Okay, I'm pretty confident. At 6.5, I think they're going to lose. I don't expect the Chiefs to have much of a problem with the Broncos today. Again, it may be a little lower scoring than normal, but I would expect them to be able to move the football. And I don't know what Le'Veon Bell does, but Le'Veon Bell has a history of running the football in New York in the weather. I don't think he'll be phased. He may actually be good today for the Chiefs going with it. Your thoughts on the under 42.5 for Adrian Peterson with Swift taking the lead at plus 101? It's not horrible. Not horrible. Patriots scored 59 on the Titans in the snow. Yep, that's true. Tom Brady had 5 touchdown passes that game. It was a laugher. Dan Harris, where are your picks? Good question. He's on IG Live right now, so that's why he hasn't sent it. So we can make fun of him. So we not only did we get to 1,000, we got to 1,000 subscribers. Dan Harris didn't think we'd do that on YouTube. We got that done. But now Dan Harris, for the second week in a row, has forgotten to send his picks. 2 weeks in a row. He's a very busy man, though. Got a lot of things going on. Tease KC and Buffalo. Yep. I tease Buffalo and the Panthers. So if you want me to go through my picks here real quick, if you daily juice guys, if you see on the side, Cleveland -3. As I told you on the podcast, I think the Browns have a bounce back spot here today against the Bengals. I think they get right. They win the game. Only 3 points. I think they win and they cover. I think the line's 3.5 right now. I don't hate that. Prefer the 3. Maybe you buy the 0.5 point. But -3 for the Cleveland Browns on the road at Cincinnati. I think it's a bounce back spot. It's a chance for them to get right, if you will, and get a win. Panthers plus 7.5 is where I got it. It's 6.5 right now. No Emmanuel Sanders, no Michael Thomas. Some problems with the Saints. I think the Saints probably win by 4, but I like the points there. I think even at 6.5, I still like the Panthers. That's part of our teaser. Panthers up to 12.5, 13. The Bills teasing from 10 down to 4. Look, people like the Jets, and there are professionals who will take 13, 12, 11, 10 all day long in the NFL. All right, but this line initially opened up around 13.5. It's been bet down to 10 for a variety of reasons. You got COVID problems with the Buffalo Bills. You guys know this. I don't love. Is Brown playing? Oh, he's inactive. Okay, John Brown's not playing. Another reason why. So now you lose a receiver, but look, I don't care. You have a huge problem with that team. Jamison Crowder's not playing. All right, he's their one offensive weapon on that Jets team, and he's not playing. Jets aren't going to score very much. The under is getting a ton of love, but I'll go ahead and I will tease the Bills down to 4. Bills, Panthers, teaser is the official Perrault 2-team teaser, which is now 4-2 on the year. We've lost our last 2, by the way. Opened up 4-0, lost our last 2. Need to bounce back. And then I'm going super public, and I'm taking the Seahawks minus 3.5. It's primetime Russ. I'm not going to overthink it. It's Russell Wilson in primetime. I think there's something wrong with that team that's not being shown on the stats for the Cardinals. They got it. I think the public's all over them because of what has happened. Kyler Murray, by the way, to score a rushing touchdown is very possible that I'm going to add that. That's very possible that on the Discord channel later tonight, I will add that as an official play for the Daily Juice. But I want to see how these prop bets go, and I want to see how this whole entire day goes before I jump on that. But that will very likely could be an ad on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. If you've not been a member and not joined the Discord channel yet for the Daily Juice, bettingpros.com/chat. Okay, a couple other things. Matt, do you like Chicago on Monday night? No, I do not. And I like the Rams, personally. And that will probably be a play tomorrow. I'll probably explain a little bit with that, but no, I do not. I think the Bears are the most overrated 5-1 football team that I can remember. And Rams are at home. They've played well at home. Chicago, there's a lot of people who are going to be on that. The public's going to be all over the Bears. I mean, the number matters to me. If it's 5.5, I'm going to be annoyed on that. I got to see the number. There may be an in-game teaser opportunity with that game that we may talk about tomorrow that may be the play or not, but that's just kind of who I think the Rams win. Okay, if you're asking me who wins, I think the Rams win. Do you have time to explain kickoff teasers from the Daily Juice earlier this week? Okay. We don't have much time on that. But long teasers. The simplest way of explaining this is totals of 49 or lower, and then you're teasing up or down through key numbers. You're teasing through 3, 7, 10, 14, okay? Those are the most important numbers to tease through. So if a team is at home and they're a home dog and they're catching 2 points and the total is 49, that game would qualify, and you then would turn around and tease that game up to 8. You cross through 7. So that would be the key. You go from 2 to 8. You get through it. That's why you see books like the Titans at minus 1.5. You may go, well, why are they doing 1.5? That's kind of interesting. It's because of teaser liability. Everyone's teasing the Steelers, okay? So they don't want to get to 8. They don't want to 7.5. You could say, well, Matt, hey, if they get to 8, okay, it's a loss. So 7, 8, those are important numbers. Same thing when it comes to a half a point, like a pick 'em. Like, oh, why are you doing a pick 'em? Because teasing it goes to 6.5. It doesn't go to 7. It goes to 6.5, okay? So those key numbers, the books recognize in football, key numbers matter. 3, 7, 8, 10. 8's not really, but I think it is. But 3, 7, 10, 14, 17, 21, these are all key numbers. So when it comes to teasing, those are the numbers you're trying to get through. It's why the books don't like to move numbers from 3 to 2.5 or from 7 to 7.5. They don't like doing that because the numbers fall so often on 3 and 7 for final scores. So that's why you're trying to move things around. But really, from a long teaser perspective, you're trying to find out, is a team going to qualify? Is that game going to qualify? It's about the total. Because if they're projecting 49 or lower, they're projecting a lower scoring game, right? A lower scoring game means it's more beneficial to have 6 points to play with to move around. That's kind of the philosophy. It's not end-all, be-all. It's not automatic fire. It's not like you should do it every time. It's one type of teaser. You can do all different types of teasers. That was just a philosophy that I talked about that I learned a couple of years ago when a pro sports gambler friend of mine was on the air with me, and he said, like, Wong teasers. And I was like, what the heck is a Wong teaser? He went through and explained the whole thing to me. So just a way of playing it. Matt, do you think the Titans will get down to a pick 'em? No, I don't. I think the books don't want to do that. I think the books are signaling to you that they don't want to do that because how much money is on the Steelers right now, it should wind up being a pick. It should go off as a pick. As of right now, last look, it was 1.5. I think the books like the number. I think they like where they are. Because, again, if you get me to even money or a pick, you get me the Titans at a pick, I am teasing that immediately to 6. Like, that will be a part of my teaser when we get off the air. If I see that anywhere where the Titans are a pick and I have access, I got 4 books here in Vegas. If I have access to it, I'm jumping on that, and I would take the Titans plus 6. That's a game that's going to be a field goal game, one way or the other. Okay, I do like the Titans. I have not bet it, but because I've been waiting, and I'm hoping to get that because that's what I would do. Titans Chiefs would be a teaser for me right now. If I could get the Titans at even at pick, I would tease them up to 6, and then I would take the Chiefs and put them down from 7.5, 7 down to 1.5. That would be my teaser right now if I could get the Titans. So I'm waiting on the Titans. You can get the Chiefs right now, but I'm waiting on the Titans. And I do think the Titans are the right side there, but the points are going to be definitely up in the air. What was the Mahomes prop? The Mahomes prop is at FanDuel, 265.5 yards passing. The projection from BettingPros is 287.6 yards passing for the over. So Mahomes over his passing yardage projection on the BettingPros computer, the props pick'em computer. You got 22.1 yards of value there by taking Mahomes on the over passing yards for him. KC was minus 6.5 for 1 minute, and I got it and I caught it. It's now 7. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, that's true. If you touch a 6.5, the pros are going to come in with both the fists and nail it. And if you wonder why the numbers go back up, bots. The bots are looking for it. The bots are scanning. They're seeing, does that number drop below 7? Once it does, bam, they hit the books with an automatic bet. Bam, instant, and that's why it goes back up instantly because the books get hit with a max wager, whatever that account is maxed out at 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever it is. The bots come in and hammer it. That's why it goes back up. Steelers never blow out teams on the road. Wise to take the 6 in the Titans. Yep, I would agree with that. Rodgers or Watson's. Jackson, this is not that. Go to the Fantasy Pros live stream on YouTube. They'll answer that question right now. I know nothing about daily fantasy, just so you guys know. Thoughts on Jags Chargers, minus 7.5, leaving Jags. Don't hate it, but I'm teasing it. Okay, I don't hate the Jags plus 7.5. I don't hate that play. I would take the Chargers and tease the Chargers down to 1.5. That's how I would play that game. Have it be one of your legs for a teaser. Chargers, I think, win that game. I'm a little bit concerned about Jacksonville's turnovers, and I'm a little bit concerned about, I think Herbert's going to have a big game. So Herbert, I don't mind Herbert props. If you go, we have Mike Williams over 40.5 yards receiving. So that's one of our player props. No, I don't. I think the Chargers win, but the question is by how much. So I would tease that game down personally if you were going to do that. Okay. So before we run out of time, let's go through the 4 player props again. Remember, these player props can be found on bettingpros.com. Go under NFL, go under picks, go search best prop bets, and you're going to see a list with links to where to bet them. But these first 3 are at BetMGM. Last one is at William Hill. DeAndre Hopkins over 75.5 yards receiving. It's now 77.5, but I still like it at minus 115. Mike Williams over 40.5 yards receiving for him against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mike Evans over 51.5 yards receiving against the Raiders. BetMGM. And Kyle Allen under 255 yards passing against the Cowboys. That one's at William Hill at minus 115. So the number on the website is different than what you'll see right here, but I have adjusted it. This is the number I got this morning at William Hill at 255.5 yards for Kyle Allen. So those are our plays. Those are our prop bets. You have the daily juice plays. You have the player props, our 4 player props. And you've got the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat. That's where I'll be. I may put up a couple of plays in there as we'll hang out watching games. Remember, I'm going to be in and out, okay? I won't always be on there all game long, all day long. I'll be popping in and out, so you can write messages to me, and I'll respond to them when I can. I will, if I add anything to the Daily Juice, I will add it there. Daily Juice hashtag that channel inside of Discord. But if you need the invite, it's very easy. BettingPros.com/chat. Hit the link, and you'll be in watching it with all your fellow Daily Juicers. There's also a bunch of other channels, by the way. There's like an NFL prop channel, an NFL totals channel. There's all different channels. But just I'm in the Daily Juice channel for the Daily Juice podcast. We're back every Monday morning. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt as well. I'll be on Twitter as well, tweeting out thoughts and plays and whatnot. I'm very excited for this game between the Steelers and the Titans. Very interested, very much watching the line. Hopefully even money comes in for the Titans. Keep that Pittsburgh train rolling, but don't think the books want to go there. I don't think they want to put it there, but that's where they are. We're back every single week here, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern Time for 1 hour on the Daily Juice live stream off of bettingpros.com, off this YouTube channel. I'm Matt Perrault. Thanks for watching. Best of luck for all your bets. We're 11-4-1 going into Sunday. Let's cross our fingers and keep it going here. Remember the over tonight, Dodgers and the Rays. Over's 4-0. Let's bet the over again here for the World Series. Thank you for watching, and we're back next week, same place, same time for Week 8 of the NFL.